So if you're a business owner, you've probably spent a good amount of time getting your Google business profile just right. But what happens when Google decides it knows your business better than you do and starts changing your information all on its own? In this explainer, we're going to walk through exactly why that happens and give you a clear step-by-step plan to get that control back for good. This quote, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It can feel like you're stuck in this endless loop. And trust me, you are not going crazy. Thousands of business owners deal with this exact same thing every single month. If you're sitting there nodding your head right now, then you are absolutely in the right place. See, this isn't just some random glitch. Nope. It's actually a symptom of a much bigger issue with how your business info is showing up across the entire internet. And don't worry, we're going to fix it. Okay, so to solve this mystery, we first have to understand the culprit. And here's the surprising part. It's not a bug. It's actually Google's algorithm doing exactly what it was designed to do. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. Think about it like this. Google is a detective, and it's trying to build a solid case file on your business. It doesn't just take your word for it when you type in your hours or your address. Instead, its algorithms are out there 24/7, scanning the whole web, looking for clues, and trying to verify that the info you gave is actually accurate. And what's wild is just how many places Google looks. We're talking the big ones like Yelp and Facebook, of course. But it's also digging into that industry-specific directory you signed up for years ago, or maybe an old blog post that mentions your previous address. And on top of all that, any random user can suggest an edit. If any of these sources don't match your profile, Google might just decide to correct it for you. This brings us to a really foundational concept for having a healthy online presence. It's called NAP consistency. That just stands for name, address, and phone number. And the key here, the real key, is that every single mention of your business online has to be perfectly identical. We're talking down to the last comma and suite number. That consistency is the signal that tells Google's algorithm your info is reliable. All right, enough about the problem, right? Let's get to the solution. We've boiled the whole process down into a really clear 4-step action plan that's going to help you clean up this mess and stop it from ever happening again. So here's our roadmap. First, we're going to perfect your main profile. Second, we're going on a scavenger hunt for bad data all over the web. Third, we're going to become super vigilant monitors. And finally, we'll build a case file, just in case. Let's tackle these one by one. I know it might seem obvious, but step 1 is to go straight to the source of truth, your own Google Business Profile Manager. We have to make sure this main listing is absolutely pristine before we do anything else. Okay, let's get specific with a little checklist. Your business name? It has to match your physical sign, exactly. No extra keywords stuffed in there. For the address, please double-check that suite number and zip code. And make sure your website link goes to your actual website, not some third-party booking site. Every single detail here has to be the one, true, correct version you want everywhere else.
And now for what is, honestly, the most critical part of this entire process. So many people stop after step 1, but hunting down all those inconsistencies across the web, that's how you solve this problem at its root.
This little table here shows you exactly where to look. Go through your social media bios, claim your free listings on the big directories like Yelp, and carefully check the contact page and the footer on your own website. This is the detective work you have to do to make sure every single mention of your business info lines up with your Google profile.
So once you've cleaned everything up, your job kind of shifts from cleanup crew to defense. You have to remember any user on Google can click that little suggest and edit button on your profile, and if you don't respond, Google might just assume the suggestion is correct and automatically change it.
The key here is speed. You got to be fast. Set up your notifications so you get an alert the second a suggestion comes in. If it's wrong, reject it right away and just give a quick reason why. This kind of active management shows Google that you are the authority on your own business.
Now, in a perfect world, those first 3 steps solve everything. But, sometimes you're going to need to escalate the issue. So think of step 4 as your insurance policy, preparing a detailed case file to hand over to Google's support team.
Your file needs to be bulletproof. Take screenshots of the wrong information. Gather proof of your correct details. I'm talking a photo of your storefront sign, a utility bill, a business license. And keep a log of every single correction you've submitted. This kind of documentation can turn a super frustrating support call into a really quick fix. Great, so you've fixed the problem. Now let's talk about making sure it never, ever comes back. This is all about shifting from a reactive fix to a proactive strategy for your long-term online health. Here are a few really simple habits to get into. First, try not to make frequent changes to your name or address unless it's absolutely necessary, because that can trigger a review. When you do change something, like your hours, update it on Google, your website, and your social profiles all at the same time. And honestly, a simple monthly calendar reminder to just check your profile can save you a world of pain. And this slide right here highlights a few huge don'ts. Please resist the temptation to add keywords like best plumber in town to your business name. It will backfire. Don't create a new duplicate profile to solve a problem. It just makes things way more confusing. And, like we've said, never, ever ignore those suggested edits.
So, to wrap this all up, the core idea is this. These inconsistencies aren't just annoying, they're actively hurting your ability to be found by local customers. But the big takeaway here is that with a system, clean, hunt, monitor, and document, you absolutely have the power to fix this. So, I'll just leave you with this one last thought. Your Google business profile is often the very first interaction a potential customer has with your business. So after all this work, take a second and ask yourself, is that first impression telling the right story, or is it sending a message of confusion? You now have all the tools to make sure it's perfect.